I'm Amanda Acree, and I'll be doing this presentation with Ilea Walker. So this is our basic outline, just to kind of go through some of the things that we want to talk to you guys about today. We're going to go through basically what are the problems, we're going to define the problems, and then we're going to double check into some background information. We'll go through the chemical makeup of diapers, specifically the disposable diapers, which we are commonly used today. And then we'll go through the proper use of how to dispose of them in landfills or whether or not they should be agriculturally burned. And then we'll talk about the effects of the environment and determine which one's going to be better, burning or landfill. So, basically we want to talk about burning versus landfill. This is going to be, so how do you dispose of your trash? A lot of people take it to the landfill or they just throw it away into the garbage. A long time ago they came up with a slogan. It was bury, burn, and abandon, which is what the method we now use today. Not a lot has changed ever since we started the bury, burn, and abandon, except for the fact that we now also go ahead and we recycle. So, however, recycling doesn't always work out, and some people don't put the correct recyclables together. So burning reduces the amount sent to landfills. However, when you burn objects, it can release a lot of the toxins and the chemicals back into the atmosphere. So that can also be a very bad thing for the environment. As far as landfills go, you basically just take your trash to a landfill, you put it away for a very long time, and once in a while they move it around or rotate it. And then eventually it's supposed to just decompose all by itself. But it takes a very long time to do so. So we're going to talk about some of the history. Basically, England had the first cloth diapers, which were basically reusable. All you had to do was, after your baby went to the bathroom, just wash it and dry it and put it back on the baby. Which is a really, really efficient way to do things. Until 1966, Jean Harper actually first invented the polyacrylate acid, which is found in superabsorbent diapers. The polyacrylic acid is what makes the diapers very absorbent. They look like really tiny beads or powders, and then when they get bigger, sometimes you'll find them on your baby. Disposable diapers merged around 1980s in Japan, and then after that, well, you all know the rest is history. So this is the basic design of a diaper. So here on the outer edge, we basically have like this nice synthetic, sorry, I forgot the word. It's an absorbent pad, and it basically takes all of the liquid and it puts it in through the core of the diaper. So in through the core, we have this nice polyethylene, and then we have the composite fibers. The composite fibers wick the moisture down here into the polyacrylate. And the polyacrylate here is what actually absorbs everything into this diaper. And then of course, you have all the elastic and everything else, which helps keep the diaper on the baby. So there used to be a lot of issues with this. So some of the polyacrylate was actually found to induce toxic shock syndrome. And toxic shock syndrome was first found in women who used tampons, because they used to put the polyacrylate for the absorbency in tampons. But these women kept coming up with this toxic shock syndrome, and they found out why. However, diapers nowadays still use it, clearly, but no babies have ever been linked to toxic shock syndrome, and they obviously kind of dumbed down the amount that they had in it. So far, there haven't been any problems, but you can never be sure. All right, and I'm going to switch out, and Ilea's going to take over and introduce the rest of this to you.
So, landfills versus combustion. Just a fun fact, did you know that had Columbus used disposable diapers today, if he would have just simply left them in a landfill, they would still be decomposing, which is like over 500 years ago. That is a long time to decompose. Landfills, they're great with biodegradable objects that are easily degraded out there in the biosphere. However, some of our trash that we do throw away is probably better to undergo combustion. And here we have the chemical acrylic acid and how to synthesize into the polyacrylic acid, which is found in your disposable diapers. And so some of the environmental effects of the polyacrylic acid, or even the sodium polyacrylate, which is two chemicals that are found in diapers. Polyacrylic acid, when it undergoes combustion, is actually non-toxic and has beneficial chemicals that are emitted. Whereas in a landfill, if you sip them there, it has to be aerobic conditions, meaning you cannot bury it. However, it does take a very long time for those to be degraded. Sodium polyacrylate also is non-toxic when it is combusted. However, when it is used in a landfill, you must use ferric chloride to assist in the breaking down because it takes a longer process to break down because of the sodium found in the chemical, whereas the polyacrylic acid does not have the sodium, so it does not need to use the ferric chloride to help break down this. So, just off of this information that we have here, which do you think is better, burning or a landfill? This takes us to our propaganda poster that we have. Disposable diapers, how do you dispose of them? In our study, we found that combustion is probably the better route to go rather than using a landfill, just because it requires a shorter time to degrade and you end up with a smaller mass at the end of it. So if you have a burn barrel, use it. If not, I guess send it off to your dump site. More than likely they're going to have it undergo combustion as well in the incineration chamber. So that's our poster and our presentation. Here are our citations that we used to get all of our information, and thank you for listening.